Would you one day like to make it as a professional football player? Or maybe you've got a son or a daughter who loves to play football. Well, my name's Raymond Wood, and I'm one of the highest qualified coaches on the planet under UEFA. I'm also a UEFA player agent, and I'm also a UEFA ambassador. We're going to be coming to Hawaii in 2025. I'm originally from Liverpool in England, as you can tell with my accent, and I did live in Hawaii for 3 years when I was in my 20s, many years ago. Hawaii was one of the most amazing places. Not only did I get to live in or visit for that 3 year period, and I couldn't believe going back in 2006 how popular football or soccer was for you guys on the islands. I've been very fortunate to live all around the world working in professional football. I've worked for teams like Leicester City, Liverpool Football Club, Paris Saint-Germain. I've worked for some of the biggest universities and colleges across the US when I was working in the US for many years in the early to late 2000s. I started up a program a couple of years ago called the Professional Player Pathway, and I wrote a book, and the program's aimed at boys and girls who live in remote and distant places all around the world but don't get the opportunity to maybe make it as a professional, maybe don't get the help or assistance, or maybe don't have the opportunity to excel and flower as a professional football player, or soccer as we call it in Hawaii. Now, I'm going to be coming across in the next couple of weeks towards the end of January, early February. I'm looking to meet with people who are involved with the AYSO, people who are involved with some of the biggest soccer clubs, some of the smaller soccer clubs. I'm looking to meet with some of the most important people who live in Hawaii, are going to be in Hawaii for the rest of their lives, and want some help and support in the game of soccer. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming across around about April, May time, and we're going to be running an event in Oahu. The event's for boys and girls aged 8 years of age all the way through to 23 years of age. We're going to do an on-field test called objective testing. That's where we test boys and girls like they do in the Premier League in England to assess them where their game's currently at. Once we assess them and we identify two key areas, we identify their strengths, but we also identify their weaknesses. It takes about 2 hours to test a group of about 80 players. Once we've tested the players, we will then send each player a feedback report completely free of charge, worth $3,000. What's the catch? There is no catch. I love football. I've been very fortunate to work right around the world in the game, and I've got an affinity with Hawaii. As I said, I've not only lived there for 3 years, but the future plans for me and my two daughters, I'm a single dad with two daughters, our future plans are eventually to retire and to move out to Hawaii full time. So I'm trying to give back to the islands of Hawaii. So we're looking to work with players and clubs in Oahu, Kauai, Maui, Big Island. I've lived on all the islands and I'm very familiar with all of them. This free event that we're going to run, as I said, we're going to do our objective testing on the field, but we're also going to do what's called an indoor event where we'll go to a hotel room or an event space. And over a 2 hour period, I'm going to showcase the professional player pathway. Now, this program has been designed for boys and girls, whether you live in Hawaii, you live in a regional remote area of Australia, and that's where I currently live at the moment, Australia. Maybe you live in the Middle East in the middle of a desert. This program has been designed so players can develop and flourish wherever they live. They don't need to go to Europe. They don't need to go to the mainlands of the USA. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to meet with all the lovely people in Hawaii, anyone who's a coach, anyone maybe who's like a president or the technical director of a club, because we're going to come and meet with you in the end of Jan, early Feb, and actually showcase what we're going to do and what we're going to offer for the island. And then we're going to come back April, May time to actually run the free event. And when we come and run that event, everyone's welcome to come and join us, participate. But also, when I come across in January or February, I'm actually looking to give back to some of the clubs. As I said, I'm one of the highest qualified football coaches on the planet. I've worked on one of the biggest football projects for the Premier League where we spent £1.6 billion. For anyone who understands football and soccer and some of the big name players, I've been very lucky to work with players like Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Lauren James, many of the big superstars in the Premier League. What we're going to do is when we come across in January and February, if you're a club, and whether you've got 50 players or you've got 500 players, if you've got trials or grading going on, I will come out and I will actually help you run your trials and your grading completely free of charge. Now, we can't do this for every club, and we're only going to offer this to clubs based in Oahu when we come across in January, February. Potentially, depending on your club size, if you've got a fairly large club, we might be able to come to Maui or Kauai or Big Island. But we're going to make this offer for a club or two on Oahu. If you're a big size club, you want some help with technical direction, you want some help on how to actually run a trial like a Premier League team, me and my team will come and run this for you for free. We need to get the club to give us a few volunteers to help us, and we can actually run your grading and trials for you. And this is one of the most amazing football tests on the planet. Again, it's worth $3,000 for each player to get the grading done. We will do it completely free of charge because we want to show what we can do and show the power of some of our programs. So everyone in Hawaii, aloha. We look forward to seeing you. My friend Rick is going to be sharing this video around. He's based on Kauai and he's been living in Hawaii for many years. And Rick's going to be helping me get this off the ground. So I'd love to meet with some of the important people in football clubs, whether you're a coach, a volunteer, whether you're a president, a technical director, anyone who works within the clubs within Hawaii. I'd love to meet with you when I come across in January, February, so we can tell you a bit more about this event that we're going to run in May and June. And then once we come across, we're going to run that free event for all the children of Hawaii who one day would like to make it as a professional player. A big thank you from me and a big aloha to everyone in Hawaii. Hey everyone, it's Ray from Euro Football Star. We're coming live from the Novotel in Twin Waters in the Sunshine Coast. We've just done our professional player pathway event where we teach boys and girls from the ages of 8 all the way through to 23 to learn the secrets of the Premier League in Europe and how to make it as a professional football player. I've got Ethan with us today. Now, Ethan was at the event. Nice to meet you, Ethan.
Hello. Nice
how old are you, Ethan?
I just turned 15.
15, and how long have you played football for?
It's my 4th year now.
4th year. And what position do you play?
Goalkeeper and in the back line.
Very good. Now, you come to this event today. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, very much.
How much did it cost you?
Oh, it was free.
It was free?
Yeah.
So you got to come along and learn from someone like me who's overly qualified in football and knows the stuff about football and taught you the professional player pathway.
Exactly, all for free.
So what was the one takeaway that you learned? Just give me one thing that really stuck out to you.
The amount of effort that I need to put in that isn't just on the field.
So about stuff off the field as well, and about
so
that consistency.
Dietary, attitude and mentality and all stuff like that. I kind of understood it, but it's opened me up a bit more now.
Brilliant. So Ethan's talking about dietary, which was an interesting one. So we spoke about nutrition and we spoke about one of the things we do is intolerance testing. So anyone who understands what intolerance testing is, we can reduce inflammation because what we discovered in the UK and in the Premier League, that if you're eating the wrong foods and fueling the body with the wrong foods and drink, you can have a 30% greater chance of getting injured. So we removed that, and part of the program we add in intolerance testing. So that was a good thing that you remembered that.
Yeah.
So would you recommend to the boys and girls watching and mums and dads that they come along to this free event?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone should be here if they truly care about being a professional footballer.
Awesome. And do you think you learned more than one thing today?
Oh yes, definitely.
Awesome. And do you think you come on to the program in the future and join us with us?
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
We look forward to having you on the program, and thanks for talking. Have your experience with Euro Football Star this morning?
I can. It was all very well organised, quick moving, especially in the hot weather with the boys and girls for that matter. Very well explained, and I think all the kids have had a really good time.
Brilliant. What's the one thing that sets Euro Football Star apart from maybe clubs and other private academies?
I like the fact that it's objective and it doesn't matter who you are, boy or girl, or your age. Everyone's treated equal and has an opportunity.
Amazing. What's your ultimate goal in football for your sons?
To play at whatever level that they can achieve, just their potential. I don't mind what that looks like. It's up to them.